I am getting crazy with some vegetables. So when my sister came back from Uruguay, Lisa and her husband, they inspired me with this really great dish. It was a stuffed squash dish. So I'm using a squash called, I had to put it here because I forget how to say it, kabocha squash. I got it at Trader Joe's. And I'm gonna fill it with all kinds of yummy vegetables. And the recipe that Elisa told me about had beef in it. And so I'm not gonna do any beef because I really wanna do some vegetable stuff. This recipe will be friendly on the Visconti Cleanse. Fingers crossed, it turns out awesome. So first start with the squash. Cut it in half. Take out all the little seeds. And then drizzle with some olive oil. And some salt and pepper. And we're gonna roast it for, I'm thinking we're probably gonna need about 30 to 40 minutes. And I've got the heat at 375. So that's the first step. We'll let this guy roast, cook up, get nice and tender. And while that's happening, I'll go ahead and prep the other veggies. So, squash is cooking. I've gone ahead and prepped all the veggies. So we're going with a cup of coarsely chopped onion, half a cup of celery, and then a third a cup of sliced carrots. And that's gonna be like our start. So get your pan nice and hot and start with the onions. I put about 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil in here. I'm really bad at measuring olive oil. I just kind of, make sure the pan's coated. The thing about cooking, I've noticed mushrooms, because I also have 2 cups of diced baby cremini mushrooms, I think they're called, from Trader Joe's. They seem to soak up olive oil a lot, so you sometimes have to go back in and put a little bit more. So I'm going to start with the onions, the celery. I also left the greens on the celery. It was about 2.5 stalks of baby, what is it called? The celery hearts. And the greens have like a really nice texture, I think. So, and then it was just 1 carrot sliced really thin. So we'll let this saute for about, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so, because you kind of want to get it nice and soft. All right, so I've got a good brown cooked finish, if you will, to the celery, onions, and carrots. Next, I'm going to put the mushrooms in. So it was 2 cups of really kind of almost finely diced. In a way, I'm almost trying to fake ground beef with the way that I cut the mushrooms. So you can see they're really kind of cut fine. And what I like to do when I'm cooking mushrooms is add a little bit more olive oil. And then I go ahead and salt and pepper it. I feel like that releases the liquid from the vegetables, and they all start to kind of come together and get really fragrant and balanced. It's gonna be good. So, okay, so mushrooms are looking really good. I went ahead and added some paprika, just half a teaspoon, but I think that'll be really nice to kind of brighten up the flavor and get it balanced and ready for the squash. Now we'll go ahead and add our kale, and I have a video on kale. Kale can be your best friend or your worst enemy. You have to massage kale before you cook with it. And you also need to take the stems out. So I've got a video on that. So this is a cup of kale, diced like really fine so that it really reduces well. And then 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped sage. That's really key for this recipe. The sage just makes it. Whenever I've made this before with grass-fed ground beef, something about the sage, it all just comes together really nice. So this is gonna saute maybe in another 5 to 10 minutes. And then by then, hopefully our squash will be done. I had to put it in for another 10 minutes. So right now I'm working on, it'll be a total of 40 minutes at 375 degrees. All right, so squash is done. What you're looking for is really soft center when it comes out. This squash took full 40 minutes at 375. And so then you just kind of empty it out. And I think it's gonna end up being about a cup of cooked squash meat, if you will. And now I've gone ahead and finished up the veggies. So the veggies look amazing and they taste so good already. I put a cup of frozen peas in here too. And once we get the squash going, I'm gonna put the squash completely in here. And it's gonna be like creamy and yummy. And then I've got my patented cauliflower cream sauce. There's a video on my blog for this. And we're gonna mix this all together and see how it turns out. This is beautiful. Come take a look at this. This is a beautifully stuffed squash. And I'm so excited about how this turned out. The last and final step is I'm gonna put it in the oven for like 20 minutes just to try to brown the top a little bit. This is a completely cleanse friendly recipe. The only thing I did was I put a cup of the frozen peas. If you haven't tested peas yet on the cleanse, then you'd have to just omit them. You don't need them, but they had such a nice texture to it. And you could even put like my rice Chex mix on top. Got a recipe for that too, to make it kind of a crispy finish. But tonight I'm going simple, basic roasted vegetables. So 20 minutes and this will be done. This feeds about 4 people, so this will be a nice meal for you guys. I hope you like it, and it was really fun making this, so thanks for watching.